Welcome everyone to the Carolina Outdoors. We come in each week and break down 4 different segments for your listening pleasure. Come on in because the listening is fine. Hi, I'm Bill Barty, one of the outdoor guys from Jesse Brown's. Don Yeager is on assignment, and what that means to all of us as we are taping the Carolina Outdoors right now is he is out on a stream fly fishing. And of course, we've talked in previous weeks about how wonderful being outdoors is, but it is also appropriate that we recognize the seriousness of being safe and being aware right now. Listen, each week when we come on to the Carolina Outdoors program, we either talk about places to go or people who are making news or news makers in the outdoor industry or anything else of interest that way as well. And as at Jesse Brown's, we have a very important brand called Mountain Khakis. Now, Mountain Khakis was founded. In fact, 2 of the founders of Mountain Khakis came from Charlotte, North Carolina. So, nearly 20 years later, we have the current president of Mountain Khakis right here with us, Jeremy Hale. Jeremy, welcome to the Carolina Outdoors.
Thanks for having me.
Jeremy has had a long career with a global view of not just the outdoor industry, but the apparel industry. And by global view, you'll hear by his accent, he comes from Australia, but has spent time in New York, California, as well as the Pacific. He's built businesses through Billabong and Quicksilver, and through that Asian connection, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on over there and what it may mean for us here during this serious time, but then we'll go a little bit more local after that. So with all that being said, Jeremy, this is an unprecedented time for all of us. What is your view as the president of Mountain Khakis, who is dealing with supply chains, retailers, wholesale distribution? How are you handling all of that?
Yep. So first of all, thanks again for having me. It's great to be here. Your store's a very important part of the community, and I always love it when I get to swing past and see yourself and the crew. So it's good to be here. It is difficult times for sure at the moment. I think, a large part of it is it's just those uncharted waters. So what we're seeing now across our business and most of all of the other businesses and the people that I'm talking to is just there is a degree of uncertainty, and that's based on length. So, a lot of people are trying to reforecast and they're looking, back over their budgets and their plans for this year, and they're trying to figure out and make sense of it. I think the reality is at the moment is that whatever playbook you had, whatever plan you had, you just don't know. And so that's the part which probably makes it challenging. It's not all negative though. There's a lot of things which I think, there'll be some changes on our industries which are forced, which in some instances might be for the better when we come out of it on the other side of this. And we all will come out of it on the other side of this. Things will look different. But I think, most importantly now, most people that are leading businesses, they're looking at their supply chain for sure, and they're thinking about the different implications of the impact of the virus and what's that having at the moment. They're looking at their future order book. Brands and companies are being conservative where they can. If there's a chance that they can cancel future production runs, then that will happen. I think we'll start to see that. Well, we're seeing that flow through already now. Shipments and seasons will be delayed because we're definitely going to be losing selling seasons and the maximum amount of time that we have. So supply chain's a large part of it. The second part is financial models. So a lot of expenses will be cut through the businesses, and I can say this for our company and for many others as well. Everybody's really thinking about their people. How do I look after my people? How do I look after my customer? That's the main focus. That's a main focal point for everybody at the moment. And then I think the last part of it is, so the 3 big parts: supply chain, financial models, and then I think the third part is just really thinking about how you manage through the short term with this uncertainty in terms of period of time. So expense reductions, there'll probably be lots of businesses spending less on marketing. A lot of bigger companies that have got obviously retail fleets that are closed down will be having conversations with their landlords and things like that, just trying to figure out how they can persevere.
Those are the nuts and bolts of business, and of course, Charlotte is home to a large part of Mountain Khakis operation. It's a national brand with international connections as a supply chain. But Jeremy, to go to the listeners out there who may not know Mountain Khakis and may not know you in your career, you've been the president at that helm for about a year and a half or so.
Yeah.
Now you came to Mountain Khakis, which is an outdoor lifestyle brand, celebrating the mountain lifestyle, if you will. But that's not where you came from. You came from the action sport apparel industry, whether it be your career at Quicksilver, whether it be your career at Billabong, your reputation as a change agent as well. Now you transitioned to Mountain Khakis for the past year and a half, and now we're dealing definitely with change. How do you feel about your personal place in all of that, and Mountain Khakis' ability to be nimble and to continue changing?
Yep. So I think that's a good question. Mountain Khakis is a great brand. It's definitely one of the smaller brands that I've worked on, and that was a large part of the attraction as well, because I think, prior to a couple of the obvious obstacles that we have at the moment, there's an amazing opportunity with this brand, a great ownership group, great team of people. Charlotte's an awesome place for us to have our headquarters. So, I think it's really, when you think about change and change management, again, every company's going to go through that differently. So it does depend on size and scale, and for us, like you said, being nimble and being agile right now is all about support. So my team, we're refocusing on right now supporting both our local community but all of the other communities, and being nimble and being agile. Thinking about how we can use the resources and the marketing abilities that we have to drive the absolute optimal result for all of our specialty retailers around the country as we get through this.
Oh, you've been a great support for Jesse Brown's, and of course that's where I hang my hat, and Don Yeager hangs his hat as well through the week as the outdoor guys from Jesse Brown's, and we're coming to you, of course, via podcast, via YouTube, and up and down the eastern seaboard via the airwaves of WBT Radio. Our guest is the president of Mountain Khakis, a local brand with international touch, Jeremy Hale, who is right here beside me, and we're talking a little bit about, of course, everything that's been going on in the news, in our lives, and that sort of thing, but also how does this company affect its business partners and retailers. And at Jesse Brown's, you can see the Mountain Khaki line on our website, jessebrowns.com. Because of your support of locally, you can go there, reserve, buy. It's safe to shop that way. And of course, we have curbside pickup, and we have delivery as well. So you can go there. Thanks to Mountain Khakis for doing that. You can also see some of the product that we have video style, thanks to Mountain Khakis too. They quickly produced videos and synchronized it, customized it for Jesse Brown's product. So you can go there. That's one of the ways that they are helping out this local business called Jesse Brown's, and it's been a big deal that way. But Jeremy, I guess the next thing that's going on is talking about your customers, not just your current customers, but also your future customers. And through Mountain Khakis at Jesse Brown's, we've oftentimes talked about the mountain lifestyle, going to a pub, going for a hike, traveling. And all of that is kind of off the table right now, but the line is still appropriate for this stay-at-home thing we have going on, working from home, because if you're on the GoToMeeting or Skype site, you still need to look good for your business partners. Y'all should not be in your pajamas necessarily Monday through Friday working, even though you can. You still have to look good. So going into some of the specifics, would you tell us something that maybe was a pant, for instance, or a short, for instance, that's now great for being comfortable and staying at home?
Yeah. So we just released the Water Rock, which is a fantastic pant. It's oh nice, you got it there. It's a blended material, so it's got stretch in it. It's really comfortable. We designed it for traveling and also for the versatility of water. Like If you're sitting on a long haul flight, it's perfect. You know, if you want more sun coverage, you know, canoeing, kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, you can be in and out of the water with it. It's really, really versatile. And with that little bit of stretch in it, it's literally perfect for stay-at-home working at the moment. So, yeah.
It's got a strong presentation of a grown-up while still being comfortable for just being at home and that sort of thing. So it's kind of a mixture of style meets function, but it's got a nice presentation that's not just a hiking pant.
No. Yeah.
So it fits well. And also, you have some fantastic shirting that's comfortable for being at home too. Will you talk to us a little bit about some of that product that's just good, comfortable wear?
Yeah. So this one's called the Passport as well, and it's got a nice you know, blended polyester material. And so what that means is you have stretch and you have breathability, moisture wicking. It's also got some hidden pockets in there. So again, it was designed for travel, but the versatility of that one, like we've got a young guy, Scotty, who works for us, who loves to get out and do some fly fishing, and that's his favourite to go fly fishing in. And it's just a nice piece. But you know, I think you're right. Like a large part of work from home as well, Bill, as you know better than anybody, is discipline. And so, you know, to your point, it's not just about, I think, the pajama piece. It's about also having really good schedules and doing your best for the company. You know, that's what we've been talking about as a leadership group at our business, and as we think about motivating the people that work for us, is really like, you know, we're forced into this situation. We have to make the most of it. It's up to the leaders to lead their people, you know, through this period in time. And all the companies need it. Like, just because you're at home, it doesn't mean that, you know, binge watching Netflix shows or, I don't know, making French toast every morning. Like, this is not really an extended holidays. That, you know, the economy, the country, wear something, you know, that makes you still feel like you're in an office environment. And then a lot of the time, like you said, now with all of the video conferencing that's happening, you know, it's important to present and to turn up and to be looking sharp, you know, through that.
So working at home, whether you're doing that, whether you're still out there working in an essential industry as well, go over to jessebrowns.com and check out the line of Mountain Khakis. The other thing is recreation. So as people do get outdoors more and more, whether it be just in their neighborhood for a walk as it's allowed, or whether it be at one of the parks, or maybe they're on a fly fishing stream, doing all these outdoor sports safely, Mountain Khakis fits that bill of adventure as well. And before we sign off with Jeremy, I'd like to take a quick moment. Of course, he grew up in Australia, is now residing right here, Charlotte, North Carolina, as the head of Mountain Khakis. But I wrote a few of these down, and I'll explain who these are if you do not know. But Jeremy, when I say adventure to you, do you say Crocodile Dundee, or do you say the Crocodile Hunter?
No, definitely Crocodile Dundee.
Okay, he's going Paul Hogan, Crocodile Dundee.
Yep.
All right, if I say Keith Urban, country music singer, or Michael Hutchence, lead singer of NXS, what do you say?
Oh, Michael.
Oh, Michael Hutchence, who died in 1997, lead singer of NXS. Here's a tough one, though. Rick Springfield or Olivia Newton-John?
Olivia Newton-John.
Okay, we can go with Let's Get Physical, but for extra points, Rick Springfield, what's his best song?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, the answer would be Jesse's Girl,
of course,
we are doing this at Jesse Brown's right now. And we love an Australian accent almost as much as we love a good old-fashioned Southern accent. So your workmates asked that if we could get you to say Mountain Khakis Southern style before we sign off.
Like your Southern or my further Southern?
I think it could be deep south, US of A, maybe.
Okay, so US of A, I have to say Mountain Khakis. But if I say it with my accent, they all give me a hard time because it sounds like Mountain Khakis.
You got it. Right here on the airwaves of WBT and via the podcast at Jesse Brown's. Two guys with an accent, one Australian, one Southern. This is Bill Bartee saying thank you for listening to the Carolina Outdoors. Stay tuned for the next segment right after this.